I want to show you how to do a proper plank. So let's get it done. We have shoulder stability, we have recruitment of the pecs, recruitment of the lower abs. Of course, they don't work in isolation, so we have pelvic floor muscles as well going, and all the abdominal layers, because they work as a team, all of them. You can't really truly isolate, right? Pelvic floor muscles are the ones that you use to stop the urine flow with. Those are the pelvic floor muscles. Yes, boys also have pelvic floor muscles. So, alignment of the plank. We want alignment of the cervical spine with the rest of the spine. What does that mean? It means that you're going to have your neck back here. So if I gave you a ponytail and pull your hair up, right? You want to have the full length of your neck, and then you want to have them back here so it's in alignment with the thoracic spine, the rest of the spine, basically, right? So you want to be here. We're going to start by placing the elbows out, shoulder height, and I'm going to show you an elbow plank and then regressions and progressions, okay? Elbow plank, elbow in alignment with the shoulder, and your wrist is in alignment with your elbow. Imagine there is a wall in front of you. So what we want is engagement. I want you to fire your forearms and your shoulders, right? You're pushing against the wall. Imagine you're pushing against the wall. Have that intention. Go ahead and recruit. You first have retraction, shoulders down, push against the wall, and then I want you to imagine that I have my hand right underneath your tricep. So you're recruiting enough muscles, or whatever you can, pushing down, okay? So now you have intention pushing down, but keep that angle, keep that 90-degree angle, keep that alignment, and you're pushing towards that imaginary wall. You have retraction and shoulder blades down, and then you have that alignment of the cervical spine with the rest of the spine. Now, your elbows are magnetized towards each other, right? I want you to keep that alignment. This is going to recruit more of a tricep situation, but it's going to keep that shoulder, the external rotation of the shoulder. If my elbows go out, check out what happens. If my elbows go out, you could compensate by bringing shoulders into internal rotation and use more of this, your neck and other muscles, as opposed to finding the front, right? All right, so that's shoulders. Let's try that out. So now we're gonna test that out, that alignment. I have elbow right underneath my shoulders. I have intention of my elbows pushing back, right? Pushing down towards my knees, and my forearm and hands and elbows pushing down towards the ground. I'm going to lengthen the back of my neck, the ponytail, right? I have a retraction, I have alignment, and then we're gonna move on to the pelvis. So you don't want to tuck under. That's asking your lower back too much. You don't want to hyperextend. That's also compromising your lower back. So what do we want? I want you to find a neutral pelvis. What does it mean? It means that you're not in this space of tucking under, not in hyperextension, but right in a neutral pelvis, right around there, right? Right in between those two spaces. I want you to find a block. Make sure you are squeezing in between your thighs with internal. Imagine an inner spiral rotation of your thighs. So much that you're going to imagine pushing this block, pushing it, throwing it to the back of the room. That's the intention. You have inner thighs, they're firing, they insert into your pelvis. You start connecting to that inner belt right? That is going to stabilize your pelvis and it's going to protect your back. Okay, this is a nice little trick I like to use. It's amazing what you're able to recruit by having the reference of the block or anything really that you want to squeeze in between your thighs. So now that we have the pelvis organized, let's find the feet. My feet, I have the front two corners of my feet on the ground, and I'm going to shift the weight into my heels. Now, a lot of people like to be all the way in the front on the toes, and everything is in your shoulders. I want you to share the love with the lower body. If your hamstrings are tight, you're gonna have a hard time with leg extension, and it's gonna be this situation most likely if your hamstrings are tight, and you're gonna feel it in your lower back. So, suggestion, regression. This is your regression. Lower your knees to the ground, but keep everything else going, right? Keep your alignment going. Keep the block squeezed in between your thighs. Progression, do it on your hands, right? Do it on your hands. Have your legs work up, right? And recruit as many layers as you can, as many abdominal layers as you can with your breath. I want you to connect your exhale to that compression that happens in this cylinder that is your core. So exhale and imagine all those abdominal layers wrapping around your spine, stabilizing you, right? And then imagine pelvic floor muscles lifting up, working as a team with the lower abs. So now you have, everything, right? And then your heart has to work to pump blood to all these muscles, right? And then you can play with, once you're able to stabilize for, let's say, a minute, in alignment, in proper form, then you can play with this, right? You can make it dynamic or play with the legs, right? There's so many ways of finding your plank, right? Here and here. But you want to be able to stabilize in proper form. If you feel it in your lower back, you modify. You go back to that regression. Bring the knees to the ground. If you're unable to stabilize here in your shoulders, go down to your elbows. If you can't keep this length, right, without getting to this hunch, right, you find your regressions. I want you to imagine at all times that you have a string attached to your chest that is pulling you forward to keep your chest full, to keep that external rotation, right? But your ribcage muscles are working in that compression. So my chest has a string attached, pulling me that way. If I don't, this is what's gonna happen. Or if you're here, this is what's gonna happen, and you're gonna collapse your neck in between your shoulder blades. So work on that. Now another trick that I like to do is to rub your lats. Find your lats, rub them in your brain. Sensory comes before motor. And also I like to bring my thumbs, raise my shoulder, raise my arm, and massage my pecs, like get in there. And tell the brain, hey, send some new energy. It's time to get going. And connect to those muscles. Your lats for that intention of pushing down, right? And there you have it. That's a plank. A lot of information. We can spend an hour, all of us, working on this plank. There you go. Don't sacrifice form for anything. not for time, not for anything. Okay? There you go. Do it.